But look, a few people have been in contact. I will start off with this and say you're trending on Twitter. You're getting a load of shit from people. I hope you're doing okay. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine. Many years ago, I stopped caring about people reacting to my tweets, clipping me up, or, trying to, shit on this community. I saw one of them this morning. It's incredible. Apparently, it's Rashford's fault and Bruno's fault that we lost last night because somebody took a 10-second clip where I said Rashford and Bruno can fuck off. Which I still stand by. The context is I actually think we need to move on from players that aren't playing well. That's my opinion. If you think we need to keep them, that's your opinion. You're not the director of football. I'm not the director of football. They're not going to get sold. But for different reasons, I've had enough of both of them. But it's not their fault that we lost. Ten Hag brought Rashford on. It was a stupid thing to do. Ten Hag kept Bruno on. It was a stupid thing to do. So there's the added to the 10 seconds that somebody clipped up. I just think that there's better people out there reacting to that who really should have the intelligence. I mean, they class themselves as statistician hipsters who obviously research things, and yet they take little clips and start talking about them. And you need to do better. But there's a lot of anger out there at the moment. I don't care if people want to defend Rashford and Bruno and put it on Ten Hag or put it on me or put it on McTominay or Maguire or whoever. I don't care because there's a lot of anger out there at the moment. And, we lost the game that we should have won, that we were winning in the 95th minute. Chelsea fans have got every right to banter us and enjoy that result. Enzo Fernandez has got every right to act like a complete idiot touching the badge in Mason Mount's face. Yeah, Mason Mount started at Chelsea as a kid and they sold him. You came to Chelsea for 100 million quid and you're banging the shirt like you're some sort of Chelsea legend. Absolute twat. But he's got every right to do that. When you lose a game, it's wrestling, isn't it? It's WWE. It's the moment. And when you're live after a match like that, you're in the moment, aren't you? Honestly, I don't feel a lot better this morning. I still look at that. My feeling about the game last night, and I don't really want to talk about this. I want to talk about the manager situation and everything else. I still look at it last night and I say, apparently that referee can't referee Liverpool game, by the way. He can't referee Liverpool games because he's a Liverpool fan. Apparently, he's the same referee that's done us over a few times this season. I mean, look, there's no point in talking about it because the referees just get away with it. We think football's the fans' game. It's not. We're part of a dictatorship. We're meant to live in a world of free speech, democracy. The Premier League is not free speech and democracy. Football fans are mushrooms growing in the dark, being fed on shit. We are not football is not our game. Like this PGMOL and Premier League is an absolute dictatorship. The integrity of this Premier League disappeared a long time ago. A long time ago. Tell me this: how can Doku, in the last minute of a title decider, tackle someone with studs in the chest and it not be a penalty? And then in the last minute of a game that's for 6th place, Delo puts his hand on the arm of Madueke and he dives and they give a penalty. Like, at what point do brains in the VAR room kick in and say, we're all part of the same league here? We didn't give a penalty for somebody studding someone in the chest in a title decider, but we're going to give a penalty for somebody touching someone's arm. I mean, it's just incredible. And that's all I'm going to say. People you throw around the world corrupt. It's not corrupt. It's just complete and utter incompetence. But look, actually, 3-3, I'd be sat here in a different position saying I'm absolutely gutted. But you know what? The reason we lost that game, I can't watch it. The penalty's frustrating. But watch where Cole Palmer runs to on that winning goal. He goes from the box to the edge of the box. Not edge of the box to whip a cross in. Edge of the box to have a shot. And nobody goes to him. And I'm like, you can talk about Ineos. You can talk about the Glazers. You can talk about the bad signings. You can talk about, people being bad substitutions. But that's just pure basics. I can see Mount and McTominay pointing at Palmer, but I don't know who they're pointing at to run and do anything. I think Mount then runs. It's just their heads go. And if you're struggling this morning to understand why Manchester United fail, and Ineos want a big hint, it's mentality. They do not have the mentality. They just don't have it. Now, whether some of them could have it with the right leadership, but we don't have the mentality on the pitch. If you've got a Roy Keane or a John Terry or a Steven Gerrard or a Nemanja Vidic or a Gary Neville on the pitch at 3-3, absolutely, I'd bet everything I own, they would have somebody on Cole Palmer. They'd be telling people to switch on. So when people come at me for criticising Bruno Fernandez, I like Bruno, but tell me the last time he put in a 7 out of 10. Tell me the last time. You're going to have to go off for a little bit. So people say to me, you've got an agenda against Rashford, Bruno, McTominay and Maguire. I gave Maguire a 6. All of you gave him a 4. I gave McTominay a 6. Everyone gave him a 3. I gave Bruno a 5. Everyone gave him a 4. You know, how is that an agenda? But tell me this. If I've got an agenda against those 4 players, are those 4 players you build a team to win the title around? I rest my case, Your Honour. So I don't know what people are moaning about this morning. I don't know what people are moaning about. I understand it. I'm in a bad mood. I'm sure every United fan's in a bad mood. But maybe lock on to something that's actually comprehensible. Because Bruno Fernandez should not have been on the pitch after the 70th minute. He started playing silly little passes. His legs had gone. And he's on there because he's the captain. But he's not a very good captain. So we had fresh legs on the box. On the bench, you've got Amrabat, you've got Ericsson, you've got Ahmad. He shouldn't have been on the pitch. So when I said Bruno and Rashford can fuck off, it's because Rashford has been at it for weeks, and Bruno is, what's the point? All I ever hear about Bruno is, oh my God, he's like a robot. He can play with a broken leg. He can play when he's absolutely knackered, and nobody actually realises that's not a win. Somebody who will play knackered or injured is not a win, because the person on the bench who's not knackered or not injured will run around more. I don't know why we fell into this, we've got to keep Bruno on the pitch for every single minute because he cares about the club. I know he does. I like Bruno, but tell me the last time he put a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10 is just decent. It's not brilliant. It's not 8 or 9. He hasn't put anything better than an average performance in for months. And we're keeping him on the pitch for 100 and something minutes because he runs around for the badge. But he doesn't run around very quick because he's fucking knackered. And that is something that Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola wouldn't do. And you do have to look at Ten Hag about that. Of course you do. Anyway, we'll come back to that because I'm sure there's a lot of people who want to talk about Rashford and everything else. There's a poll going on whether you want Ten Hag or Gareth Southgate. Thomas says, I'll cry if we sack Ten Hag. Elliot says he's confused by the coach and the staff and the players. A clear out is needed. Just can't believe that's what it takes. All very weird. Eric Ten Hag is trying to balance his trust in certain players alongside using a group of mutineers. I agree with that, Anthony. You missed something on the Delot penalty. He didn't put his hand on the player. He kicked the bottom of his boot. You can see it on the slow-mo. Yeah, that's not Hubert. That's not enough to take him down. I don't want to go into that, but that's not a penalty. Like, the only reason it can be a penalty is the hand on the arm. The little clip on the back of his heel, that's a dive then. He can easily keep his foot up. That's a dive. That's not enough for him to go down. So that's still not a penalty. Truly lost on its Eric Ten Hag or players or both. It can't be Ten Hag and the players, mate. I said this last night on Twitter, and again, people didn't like it. You can't get rid of Ten Hag and get rid of Rashford. It will be manager or players. We already have the evidence of that. Mourinho, players, stay. Ollie, players, stay. Rangnick, players, stay. Ten Hag sacked, players, stay. Both won't happen. Both won't. And I'll explain why in a minute. Southgate won't sink to 12 plus seasons in a lot. NAU, if you want Gareth Southgate to manage our manager, I don't know why you support Manchester United. I don't know when you started supporting Manchester United, but you've got absolutely no idea about the standards of Manchester United if you think Gareth Southgate should manage us. And if you think parking the bus and grinding out shit performances like we did under Ollie is what you want, I don't know why you support Manchester United, because there's just he has got zero identity for what we're all about. And I know some people do want him, and I'm not going to shout and scream, but thinking about, I watch England, I'm English. He is the biggest factor in why we've not won anything. He is absolutely dreadful. He has favourites. He doesn't pick form, he picks favourites. His football is shit. He'd play 2 holding midfielders against Luxembourg if he could. His tactics are crap. His coaching is crap. if you want that at Man United, crack on with it. I mean, things are going to get a lot worse.
Goldbridge, that's the end of the clip. I'm sure you enjoyed it. In fact, I bet that's the best clip you've ever watched. So there's no reason not to subscribe to the channel, click the bell icon so you never miss a clip again. In fact, smash a like on the video because we all know only legends like videos and you are all legends. So please smash a like on the video and we will see you again on the next one. Thank you very much for watching as always.